Adrian Peterson's holdout is officially over, which is really, really relieving, to be honest with you. He, after last week's Twitter rant about his contract, which I think the fact that Zimmer went out and said on the podium that he was going to play for them or no one, one reason why he came in. Another reason, I believe, is the money thing, where he started to realize he's going to be losing money soon by not showing up to these things. So I think that's another reason into this, to be honest with you. Now, but him being back opens an entirely different dimension to this team. Like it's insane. Now it's a totally different thing because now instead we look at our receivers who can't really run too many routes, but they're all speed guys. If you look at them, we have Mike Wallace on the outside, we have Charles Johnson, we have Patterson, we have Jarius Wright, we got Stephon Diggs. All of them are speed guys. All of them. So now you add a guy who in the backfield, he can command that 8-9 man box. So now we got a bunch of speed running down the field. I'm liking this. Now the problem might be Teddy's deep ball is not the best, which I think that will be okay, to be honest with you. Because like it's not the best, but I think it's workable. Because I think towards the end of the year last year, we saw those deep throws get a lot more accurate. Like the one that sticks out in my mind is the one that Jennings dropped. There was a perfect ball placement against the Bears in the last week. It was perfect. Was it I don't know if it was the last week or the week before the season ended. Like it was either week 16 or week 17. I'm pretty sure it was week 17, but I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, that's the one that sticks out to me because it was perfect ball placement about like 40 or 50 yards down the field, like into double coverage. If Jennings could have just held on, it would have been a touchdown. Like it was in the back corner of the end zone. So I think the deep ball has gotten reasonably better with Teddy Bridgewater throughout the year of last season. But with Peterson being back, though, I don't know of how much we're actually going to be throwing it. Because we may see another Peterson year where he's ripping up the league, or he's going to have that rust from not playing last year, or he could be on a decline thanks to how fast running backs tend to decline after the age of 30, which I don't know if that applies to him because he's a different kind of breed of running back. He's not the same kind of thing. Like Steven Jackson hit this mark and he just fell off a cliff. But this is no Steven Jackson kind of running back. This is arguably a top 5 running back of all time. So and he tore his ACL and MCL the other year. Came back, almost broke the record. So I don't see why not he couldn't do that. Come back and start ripping things up again. But I wouldn't throw that out of the way. But I also wouldn't be too surprised if we see some rust on him. And then he'll start going and still end with probably what he normally gets, around 1,400, usually in that range. He usually is like 12 to 1,400. So I wouldn't be too surprised if that were to happen. I feel like all cards are open with that. Like, I don't know. I also don't know if we're going to be using him on all 3 downs because he's no pass catching running back in this North Turner offense. It's all spread out. So I think we may be using a lot. We might look a lot like what North Turner had in San Diego when he had LT and Darren Sproles back there with Phillip Rivers. You know, all those guys. I think our offense will look a lot like that. So the offense should be significantly better just due to AP. So we have all day back there. I still think the major improvement is going to be the defense, though. So he's like, if we can get this thing going on the offense and defense gets going, I see us potentially making a run at a wild card this year. Potentially. As of right now, I know you can't be a contender in the month of June, but I know that doesn't happen. But it isn't insane to say that we could maybe win more than a few games throughout this process. Like, I know the schedule is rough. I think specifically to the week where we have to have the Cardinals. I forget which one's the Thursday night game, but I think we have a short week with the Cardinals and the Hawks. So, and we go from one to the other like that. So, it's not a, much of a promising schedule really. We don't have the best one, but I think it is workable. Like with what we have. Like I can really see us going potentially starting off 3-0 because I feel like the Lions, that is a division game that can go either way. I'm not really too scared of the 49ers at this point. Like the Niners just fell apart during this offseason. There's too many pieces gone. It's going to be taking a little while. The Chargers are also kind of like usually on and off. So, but I can honestly see us starting off 3-0 on this schedule here with what we have. Maybe, and we're probably going to end up being 3-1 because we have to travel to Denver after that. But okay, yeah. So they have the Seahawks on week 13 at noon, and then they have the Thursday night game in Arizona right after that. So that's the game. Those are the two games I was looking at. That I was like, that's not going to be favorable. So I don't know. Like I could see us maybe winning one of those games. Like I don't know if we can, but I can see us maybe doing that. Maybe. Like I don't see us getting blown out by anyone this year, really. Like with how Zimmer's defense is, how our offense looks like it's gonna be at least top 15 this year. It's appearing. So if we can hit that, I feel like we're not really gonna be blown out. Like in terms of that, like I would say the 3 games where we could potentially even come close to a blowout would be would be actually the Cardinal games, thanks to the Thursday night and the short span there. Green Bay, I always had to throw Green Bay in there, and Denver. Those are really the only 3 games that I can see a potential blowout. Even like so, but the rest of them, I feel like we can either win. When I said Green Bay, I meant the one in Lambeau at the last year, not the last game of the year. My bad. So, but I think this entirely changes strictly because we got Peterson back in the fold here. Peterson could carry this team. I don't know if he will, but he could. The reason why I don't know if he will this time around because we do have Teddy Bridgewater. We have a quarterback now with him. We have one that will not do what Christian Ponder did and just, I don't even know how to describe Ponder. Let's move on from that one. But yeah, I think we're gonna have one heck of a year next year. This next upcoming season, especially with all of our young guys. So, and now that we have Peterson back, you realize this opens up the world again for Cordero Patterson. This opens it up. He has all of that room to run around now. He didn't have that last year. So maybe we get the old Cordero back as well with this. Hopefully a better one. It'd be nice. It'd be nice to have that back. To have that flash, something that we can rely upon for a weapon, a little X factor. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Farewell.